Hello and welcome to the Kinda Sorta Maybe Show. Thank you for joining us. Today we're going to talk about DC's Wonder Woman. My name's Jim.
Claudia. And Melinda.
And Wonder Woman, it's finally here. The first, I guess, a follow-up to Batman vs. Superman, Suicide Squad, around there. But not really. Some of us enjoyed it more than others. But Wonder Woman was really cool. I liked it. I'm glad it finally got here. It lived up to my expectations. I guess, what do you guys think? What were you thinking? What were you expecting?
Because of what you had said, that you said DC movies sucked, I was like, I did watch Batman versus Superman or Superman versus Batman, something like that. And I don't know, like, going on that, I didn't have high expectations, but man, I was like, man, the reviews were right. This movie's good. Yes, it was long, but it was really good. And mostly just because of the females, the female empowerment. I don't want to talk too much about it, but just the first 10 minutes of all those women, like super strong women fighting, man, I got so excited. I was like, dude, this is awesome. And my husband, Pablo, he was like, dude, chill out, dude. Don't chill out. I'm like, no,
You're yelling during the movie, Claudia.
This is so cool.
What were your expectations for Wonder Woman?
So, as Claudia mentioned, DC movies have done nothing for me.
Not one of them? Not even Green Lantern starring...
That one's up there in my list, I think, of DC movies. At this point, there hasn't been a DC movie where I'm like, wow, this is up there with my Marvel movies at all. Like, not even close. And I even, like, one of my friends who he is a hardcore DC fan. Like, every comic book, everything is, for him, is 100% DC. And he messaged me right before and he asked me if I was excited for him, and I told him, honestly, I'm not holding my breath. Like, as much as I want to love it, as much as I want to look forward to the first, female superhero, I do not have high expectations because it's DC, and I already know I'm gonna go in disappointed. Like, I'm not going in with high expectations, and I was proven wrong. I mean, ginormously. It was such an incredible film, and after I got out, I think I told my sister Milena, I'm like, I think this is going to be my favorite. It's up there in my favorite all-time superhero films. Like, maybe of the year at this point. It's been my favorite. Like, I was in love with it. Yeah,
I'm really glad just how this movie did, the character justice, like...
Justice.
Get it? So we did see Wonder Woman in the Batman vs. Superman, and they introduced her. She was really cool there. But then, like, just taking her whole story, which I don't know if you all were familiar with it. Were you familiar with her story on the island and all that? Okay. So it was just cool how they visualized that and how they showed at the beginning as a little girl, you knew something was different. And then you find out she's the only child on the island, and that whole story, I love it. We're like, oh, I was molded by clay and brought to life or whatever, and which is super cool. And I liked how they kind of threw that in there into this movie. But you're right, seeing all these powerful women, training, fighting, very, very cool and empowering. I mean, what did that feel like for y'all?
It was so, like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys, I cried multiple times in this movie because I just felt so, like, I don't know, it was just so emotional to me. And it was, like, not even sad. It was like when she was going through the dead men's, or what's the
No Man's Land.
Yep. That was the first time that I just, like, I started crying because I just started thinking, I'm like, these kids right now, like, these young girls are gonna grow up with a female superhero. Like, they're gonna have what we didn't have as with movies and stuff. We had, no offense to Disney, but we had Disney princesses who were were looking for their knight in shining armor, or someone to protect them. And they're gonna have this movie where it was a role reversal, and she was the one who was defending, or not defending, but she was the one that was
leading
saving
the charge.
She was saving the men. She was showing girls that you can have both. Like, you can be an empowering woman. You can have it on. It was just, it was so emotional to me, and like, it. I don't know. It just showed, and this is even the first. We like this year. In a while back, we've had in episode 7 of Star Wars, we had Rey, and then in Rogue One we had Jyn, and now we have Diana. So, like, it's happening more and more, and I love that it's just showing, like, women can be leads in movies and they can be successful. Like it doesn't all just have to be men. Like you can have an empowered woman still save the day, and it was just so empowering to like. Oh man, I was so excited. I was blown away throughout the entire film.
And they can be president.
What?
And they can maybe someday.
One day.
No, yeah, I'm with Melinda. It was just so exciting to watch it, and I'm like, man, I wish I was a kid so I could see this. Just throughout the whole movie, the opening was just amazing. Because usually you see action movies and it's the guys are fighting the wars, but it's like these women
they're
are
warriors,
amazing.
you know, they're fighters,
gorgeous, and they're strong. Like Robin Wright,
yeah,
that's her name, right?
I believe so.
Man, I'm like, I love her in House of Cards, and now I love her in this role, even though she, spoilers, doesn't make it. But I don't know, just love that. And then I'm with you on that scene that you're talking about in the trenches, right?
Yeah.
When she just comes out, and it's like,
when like all these men.
Well, what's the line where they're like, "No, we're not here to save people. We're not here to save people." You know, and I think their line, it's no man's land, right? And I don't know if there was some sort of...
No man has tried, or good thing I'm no man. I'm like, oh, it was so good.
And there's a line too where she's like, we're not here to, you know, save these people. It's not a part of the mission or whatever. And she's like, well, it's and she took the lead with that. So that was very powerful in that part. Yeah, there was a couple. So I took my daughter, and I took, you know, my family. I took my daughter and my two boys and my wife. And my daughter, there's a scene, so she's right next to me. I sit in the middle. I have Aaron on this side and have Alyssa on this side, and we have the popcorn, we're sharing, and Kelly, and then Ethan. So, and I kind of explain things to them. And there's a point in that movie where you see Diana go in, like right when they get back with Steve Trevor, they go in, and everybody looks at her, stops talking during the thing, and then my daughter says, "Why are they like looking at her?" And I was like, "Well, back in the day, they didn't let women speak in these kind of roles, you know, the girls weren't allowed to." And she's like, what? Like, that was a new thing to her. And that's kind of awesome. You know, that was actually very cool. Like for her to see that it's so different. Like she knows nothing of what this past or is not corrupted yet of what this old school mentality is. And I thought that was cool. So yeah, very empowering. I feel that Wonder Woman, I've always loved the character, and she's she's one of the three, going back to comics, of the Justice League. You know, you got Superman, you have Batman, and Wonder Woman. They're like the pillars of the Justice League. And so cool that I think this movie did it justice. Again, I used it.
I know.
Yeah, but just seeing all those visual things on the island, the backflipping and shooting arrows upside down and all that was super cool.
Dude, when just every scene, Themyscira, that's where it was, right?
Uh-huh.
Dude, I was just in complete awe of, like, the cinematography of it was insane. It was so good. They were just like, these German men come, they just start, like, killing everybody. Dude, the movie had just started, and I was already, like, flipping out. It was so, just the choreography of it was amazing. The fact that these women were just, like, killing all these these evil dudes. I loved it, and I was just, I can't, I'm gonna keep saying it, but like I was just in awe throughout this entire film of the fighting, of the movie. I think the director, Patty Jenkins, what's her name? Patty Jenkins, I think that's her name. I don't think anyone could have done this film like her. Like, I think it needed to be her. It needed to be a woman. It needed to happen, and I think she did such an amazing job. And man, like, I was blown away by it.
How interesting, though, that they hired a woman director to direct this movie about a woman superhero. I thought that was really fascinating.
I'm sure she had to fight for it.
She had to fight for it for years.
Be the most qualified.
So
and she said in multiple interviews, she's like, I don't want to be known as, you know, the person. I don't want to be known as a female director. Like, I want to be known as just a regular director. And it's so true, because that's the way it is. That's the way people are seen. But oh man, for her to have she's the first female director to make like this much money for this kind of film. But dude, like, it's well deserved. It was a really good film.
I personally loved the way the story was told. Like I said, I'm not familiar with Wonder Woman or the story behind it, but the way it starts at the beginning, where she's in the present, and then it kind of flashes back when she sees the photo. Because obviously a second part has been approved, right? There's going to be Wonder Woman 2. So this kind of laid the layout for the next movie. I just love the way that it flashed back to it.
Well, if you remember in Batman vs Superman, she's already this Diana Prince, this character, whoever, philanthropist, whatever she is, as her job. And so that was, if you saw the letter, like Bruce Wayne sent her, hey, found the original, here you go, as a present, right?
Yeah.
Like he bought it or found it for her. And that just reminded her of that. And it was a cool technique of how to get her origin story out there.
It was basically Captain America.
It was. I had, except World War One. Yeah, I had that whole...
Yeah, except it's World War One instead of 2.
Yeah, and I had that whole thing as like, that. This is so cool. Like, just the way it was done.
It needed to be a time, like, one of those timey, like, movie. Like, that's the way it was best, I think, to portray his story. But, oh, man, it was Captain America. It was, like, the first Avenger.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, exactly.
Just about.
I think
I've
just
seen
role
those. I've
reversal.
read those parallels and stuff. Yeah, but I did think it was cool. Like they set it up in Batman vs Superman, where Bruce is looking through all these archives and sees this old photo of this Wonder Woman with her posse, and I was like, oh, this is cool. Like that set up this movie, and then when this movie, you actually get that scene in the movie where they're all just standing there. Okay, don't move with the photography, and that was really cool. So I like the way the storytelling was great.
One of the people in that picture, the actor, I don't remember his name.
Okay.
But there's this one line where he says, "I love acting. That's what I love to do." He's like, "But I was born the wrong color, dude." Oh man, dude. My heart just I love that line, and I mean it's true, and especially it's even now, still in 2017. But I love that Wonder Woman was not played by a white lady.
Oh yeah.
And Gal Gadot, she's awesome.
Pablo told me that they banned the movie in Lebanon,
a certain country. Well, because of her religion and her background,
because of where she was born.
Yeah, where she was born. Yeah. So there was and a little bit of background on her, and this is just, I guess, just quickly. She was Miss Israel at one point. And then she also served in the military. She also was in the military. Yeah, she joined the military, so she did that. So she's like trained. There's this cool bit with Conan O'Brien. Did you watch it?
I don't.
You don't remember. Like, okay, well, on Facebook, I don't watch Conan, but on Facebook there was a little segment when he was training with her, and it was really cool. You saw a lot of her background, and she talked a lot about it there, and it was funny.
And she was 5 months pregnant when she filmed the movie, right? That's what I read
Really?
yesterday.
I don't know.
She was pregnant at some point when she was filming. I'm like, oh my god, that's crazy.
Yeah.
How do you stay skinny and fit? And I don't know.
Just hard work.
Like, holy smokes.
It's just hard work and training. Like you see the training that like even like Chris Hemsworth and all the other Chris Evans for when they prepare for their roles, and her as well. Like it's intense. Like they put work into it, like, to be these characters.
No, she was perfect.
And she looked spot on. It was great. The costume. What do you think about the costume?
I remember when I think it was first released in 2015. I think I was in college when it was first released, because there's like this big thing where there's I've never seen it, but I was informed that there's like the porn version of it, and they compared it to this one, and the porn version was a lot better. Like it looked prettier, so I've talked about it before, like that I was friends with these two guy friends who had their comic book podcast or radio show, and they wanted my perspective on it, like as the female, to see what I like. They didn't just want to be two dudes talking about this girl's costume or whatever. But at first I remember saying that I liked the porn version better.
What?
Her costume, yeah.
So
That's big.
if you can find like
I don't want to Google like Wonder Woman porn costume.
Cookies
I don't want it to ruin. Yeah,
you all share the same account.
Yeah, because they were the ones who were showing it to me in like pictures, and so. But yeah.
Well, I read that some people were angry because it didn't have stars on it, and they were saying that like Hollywood was kind of straying away from like depicting her as, the emblem of America, because they wanted it to do good internationally. So that's why they chose not to have stars on it.
That was one perspective, which was Fox News, I believe, were the ones that were saying that she was not American enough. And she was never American. She's like,
from the Amazon. Like that's not even. She wasn't born here.
Yeah, and the actress either. And it was very cool that, like you said, she wasn't a white actress playing Diana, and she had that accent, and that was fine. Oh, yeah. And she did really well. She did. I liked her acting. She was very convincing. She was funny when she needed to be. She was like still learning a lot of the time, like understanding how the world is, but never once, I think, like we missed another character. We missed the supporting actor, Chris Pine, the Steve Trevor. And I think they worked very well together. And I don't think he ever, at one point, I mean, of course, you have to have that conflict. What was the main conflict between them? Did he lie to her, or he never like didn't believe her, right? He was
hesitant.
Just like, maybe Ares is this. People are just bad. That was his point. It's people. It's not one person. It's not one. That was his thing. But he was never like condescending toward her. He was never like didn't believe her, put her down. It was like this doubt, and he took her where he needed to. Like I said, I'm going to take you there. We're going to take you there, and that was cool. Like I like that, his supporting role, and I really liked him in this film.
It was a different supporting role for me because when you see in all superhero films up until this one, the female as the supporting, as the actress, she is following the guy's lead. So whatever he's doing, like she's backing up, 100% or whatever. And that wasn't the case here. Like he would tell her, like he seemed not annoyed with her, but like every time she was trying to figure stuff out, like he was a guy, like he would make his comments and I mean, I didn't notice that, but I mean, I don't, he wasn't doing it to be mean. He was just a boy. But it was still, I liked, there was, I mean, because at one point I read that there wasn't supposed to be a love interest at all in this film at all. They added him way late into the process, but I like that it didn't drive the movie. The action drove it. It was her trying to find Ares and trying to stop him and stuff from war and protecting everybody, but it didn't drive it the way like in Avengers Age of Ultron, where like Black Widow and the Hulk, like that was the only thing for her. Like she didn't have anything else in the movie except that weird love interest that came out of nowhere with Bruce Banner. Like it
put him to sleep or something.
It came out of nowhere, and that wasn't the case here, which I liked. Like the love story did not drive it at all. But yeah, he was a different. I don't know. I guess it's because they gave him more than the stereotypical like girl sidekick where she does like the thing on the side and it accidentally saves the world. Like they gave him, he was his own character here in this film. He was good. He had his own,
he wanted for the greater good, the bigger, like I gotta stop the war, these people are gonna get hurt, that kind of thing. He had his own mission. Like at that point when she's fighting Ares and they're doing their own thing, like hey, this bomb's gonna blow up and all this stuff, he had his own mission. I did like him. I thought he did excellent in the film. Like they played off of each other. And Steve Trevor, like in other variations of Wonder Woman, like in the present, like he's existed in the present. And I mean, they do have a relationship in several instances. So I didn't mind that so much. It felt natural. Like their chemistry was great. Like I love when he was in that cool pond or whatever. And then he like comes up, he's like, oh, are you, what did she say? Are you like,
the average I'm above
male?
average.
He's like above.
I thought those.
Oh, that was so funny. The whole theater cracked up. I cracked up, and then she's like, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, well." He's like, "Oh, the watch." Like it was just little things like that. The humor it was good. And she's like, "Oh no, I know about reproductive systems. I'm not like." She's like, "I've read all 12 volumes. All 12. Okay." Did you happen to bring those? I loved it. But I mean, it wasn't too much. And the whole thing of where are you going to sleep? She's like, what? You don't lay with women? And he's like, well, we do, but we get married. And he's explaining this stuff. He's like, why? It was just super cool. I thought their chemistry was really well done. And I like him. I do like him as Captain Kirk. And I like him in everything he's in pretty much. So what'd you think about Chris Pine?
He was good. I mean, I have him as that movie that he did recently, the one about his boat getting stuck in like the ocean.
Star Trek Part 1, Part 2, and Part 3?
No, it's a recent movie about like some snowstorm hitting, and then he's like part of the National Guard.
Really? I've never heard of this movie.
Super recent movie, yeah. And Pablo and I went to watch it. I want to say.
You didn't watch Star Trek?
Yeah, but no,
Star
I don't
Trek
have him
2.
as
Captain
that guy.
James T. Kirk? No? Okay.
I have him as that, and so it's funny that in this one he comes out of a boat as well, but this time like the girl rescues him and everything. I mean, I thought he was okay. I didn't think he was. I wasn't too impressed with him because I think she was just. It was about her. It was supposed to be about her.
Sure, he's a supporting actor.
Yeah, and then
at
they
that
kill
point.
him.
He's secondary.
So I don't want to.
Wow.
I'm glad I didn't like him because he got killed off. Like
That was sad. I was sad.
No.
I was like, please survive. Parachute down at the
yeah.
end.
So confused, like why? Like you had already taken over the boat or the airplane. Like just go and like land it somewhere, or land it in the ocean and jump
And
off.
jump
Like
off.
what do you?
That's
that
what I was thinking.
nonsense.
He could have like aimed it down to the ocean and jumped off, or tried to, but maybe there's no more parachutes. Remember, he knocked out like 2 people.
Yeah, but he
with
was alone
parachutes.
in the airplane. So why
Yeah.
didn't he land it somewhere?
It was on the timer. Remember?
Land it far away. Keep flying. And then
Where? I don't think he had that much time, and that was the reason. Because if he left it there, it would have just exploded, and it would have killed everybody in that area. So, in movie logic, in that movie, so he decided to take it off pretty high because he was going high, and then he shot it and sacrificed himself.
that's the moment that I went to the restroom. I came back when he was like, "No!" That was the part.
Wow, the cool
I'm like,
part,
yeah,
super emotional
thank
part.
You, Bladder. Thank you, Bladder.
The
you can't
super
judge her.
emotional
You
part.
went twice.
Yeah, but I can tell in movies when the
You
rising action,
don't-
falling, you have a break in between.
Calmate,
I
cinematographer
can't.
over here.
No, he's
but
lying.
I'm not lying. I can tell.
Jim,
Let me
Rogue
tell you the part.
One.
Let me tell you the part. But there's a rising and then it was falling, break. So let me go, and then I came
the
back.
climax is coming. I need to go to the restroom.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can tell that stuff in movies. So, but it was some character development with the guy singing. I missed when you need to hear, like they called back to it. So I missed the singing
He
part.
kept
I guess.
singing and singing.
So that's what I missed. So it was an action break. Got to go. Anyway, so
I held
like
it.
that.
And
You
then
held
I had to go there. I had to go. Like,
just go in your pants. It's fine. They'll just change later.
Peter attendee peed in her pants.
They're not going to do a news release.
The movie was so good. She peed in her pants.
Oh my gosh.
There you go. That's good PR, good press for the movie.
Share it and retweet it. Your job takes over the world.
Yeah. So I did like. I mean, it was in World War One. It could have taken place, I guess, anytime. But World War One, the trench warfare with the gas and all that stuff. What do you think about the villains?
I was about to
It was
ask
the fact that it was a female scientist.
Oh,
Is
yeah.
first of all,
Dr. Poison
Baloney.
is that what they call her? Poison. What?
Baloney.
Baloney.
In Germany, they're gonna have a lead female.
I heard they were more progressive than us back then.
Germany
I don't know.
in World War One.
In fictional Germany, maybe.
Sorry out there. I don't want anyone
Fictional
angry.
Germany. I don't know. But that was all right. I mean, she was good at what she did. Maybe that's the reason she's the only one that could do that.
Yeah, Jim. We know that as females, men have not accepted that, especially not during World War One.
Agree to disagree
Nope.
on this fictional
I'm
world.
correct.
But it's a fictional world.
Yeah, it's fictional because a girl was in charge.
She wasn't in charge. Who was the ultimate guy? It was what was
The
his
big
name?
white-
Yeah, the dude that she thought it was Ares. So he was the one in charge. And what she thought if she killed him, the leadership, that everything else would crumble, and obviously that wasn't the case. And then I kept thinking it was the dude Ares, that the actor was a guy from Harry Potter. He reminded
Mr.
me.
Weasley. So did I.
Oh wait, not Mr. Weasley.
Oh, I thought it was
He reminded me of Dogman.
Sirius Black.
No, the other guy.
Sirius Black
Wolfman.
is
Wolfman.
It
Remus,
was him, wasn't
Remus
it?
Lupin.
Yeah, Remus
Maybe
Lupin.
it was him because when I was
It
watching,
was?
maybe I don't know because when I was watching it, I'm like, is that Mr. Weasley? I don't know why I thought
You
it was
think
Mr. Weasley.
Weasley's like the
No,
little-
it
He
was
has
the
different
guy
color
from
hair.
Harry
You
You're
can
like in the
change
book,
it.
Jim. In the book.
In the book, you can. No, I thought it was Mr. Weasley. I'm like, who is that? I'm like, I need it. And I told myself I was gonna Google it after the movie, and I didn't. Because he looked here. I thought of Harry Potter, but I don't know why I thought of Mr. Weasley.
You remind me of Loop. Yeah.
Yeah, it
Lupin.
was
Lupin.
not Mr. Weasley, and it was not Sirius Black, so it had
was
to have been.
Lupin.
Maybe it was
the guy with
Lupin.
lupus, yeah.
Lupin
Lupin, but
does not have lupus.
he turns into a werewolf or something.
Yes.
That's not lupus.
That's lycanography. It's being a lycanthrope. Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Sure. So, that's what. Yeah. So I thought I saw him. That was cool. Like he was helping him all throughout that part. And was the bad guy. So that was a cool. I like that you saw him in full armor. You saw that whole thing. Like he looked like an old guy. It looked kind of funny, but I was like, who cares? You know, it's just a vessel that he has, and then puts all this armor, which is cool.
I didn't like the actor as the villain. Like I didn't. I'm like, why did they choose this guy? Because I have him from Harry Potter, and I'm pretty sure it's him. Because all three of us like knew that it
was
had
Harry
a
Potter.
hunch.
It was Harry
And
Potter
I'm like,
all
no,
along.
like I don't see this guy as this evil
Ares,
mastermind.
a god.
Yeah,
Well, he's
like,
a god.
evil
he would
god.
be a god.
Like
Mhm.
he was a weak choice for the villain.
He was a strong choice, I think, because it was the whole
You
thing of
didn't expect
deception.
it.
Yeah, it was deception up until that last point.
But he just didn't look evil enough when he became evil.
You don't have to look evil to be evil.
I don't know.
As we,
I have
As
it in my
we-
notes. I'm like,
No.
he's not like him. His name was Sir Patrick in the movie. Sir Patrick.
they call him Sir Patrick.
Yeah, Sir Patrick.
Sir Patrick
Yes.
Stewart.
I have it in my notes right
Another
there.
captain. No, I don't know who. I don't know what his name was. The actor. I don't know. He reminded me of the Harry Potter Lupin, so I don't know if it was him, but maybe it is. Thought he was good. He was good. I like that battle. What do you think about the action scenes? We did talk about the part
It
where
was super green screen heavy.
the where.
Just I don't know, like there was a lot of the fight scenes looked good.
Yeah.
Like, but you
With people?
knew
Like you mean?
they were green screen. Like, I don't know. They looked really good though for what I think was green screen.
Mm-hmm.
But that fight scene was so good, and I don't know. It just, like I said, just like the choreography of the fights were just incredible in this
Yeah.
entire film.
Yeah. I thought as far as the fight scenes, they didn't she learned her powers pretty quickly. I think when she did that jump and she's falling and she grabs into the I guess she just came to that age, or maybe when she needed to have that power, it came to her. That's
Well, it
something
was
they didn't
different with
explore.
the comics though. Like when they gave her the ability to fly,
Yeah,
it's because they just didn't want to use her invisible jet.
Yeah.
They wanted to get rid of that, so
Yeah.
they gave her the ability
she can
to
fly
fly.
now.
Yeah.
Which makes sense. Yeah, so I here how she found out on the island she had this strength, and so then she climbed up, and then she went through and then was gathering all her weapons, which was super cool. I like that.
Was she using her hand or was she using her?
She was using her hand.
Woo!
She was using her hand.
I thought she was using her
Using the
thingies.
bracelets.
No. To climb. When she fell.
She went like that.
No,
Yeah,
when she
I saw
fell,
that too.
her hand went into the brick, and then when she went through, she just used her other hand to poke in and grab,
was
and then she was just not even poking in, she was just grabbing and just climbing up like that with her fingers going into the stone.
I'm with Melinda. I saw this.
So how would she hold onto the wall?
Because the things would spike up.
There's no,
No.
spike.
I'm not with her on that one.
I saw something stuck
It
in the
was her
wall.
fingers. It was
No, because when
was,
she first when she tried to break it after she realized it and she fell, she went like this.
it's kind of like she grabbed.
to make a hole, it made a dent that she can grab onto.
when she
Like,
fell,
She's making this is it.
Uh-huh.
She's making a hole with this thing so she can grab onto it.
No.
It's physics,
Who's
Jim.
right?
No, it's not. She has super strength, so she would.
You're thinking
She-
Wolverine or
No,
I'm not.
she does have it, but
she put her hand through, and maybe at the first one she kind of broke to do it, but after a while she's like, I don't need to do that, because then she was climbing really fast, so her fingers would just pierce the stone. So then she went in there. You're like, or she used her hook.
I don't know. She made holes and then she climbed
She used her
up.
hooks, I guess, on her bracelet, so she iconic, I guess.
I'm not. I do not agree with that part.
So then, she
No,
went-
the thing. It had
No,
I don't know.
she
She
does
did
it.
some kind of hole and then she climbed. But I know I saw her do this. She did something like this.
maybe
with
the
her
first
wrist.
time, but after she went up there,
Changing
she
your
was
story,
climbing.
Jim.
No, I'm not. I said maybe the first time, which is just really I'll give it to you, but you're wrong.
That's
So then you go through
typical man
typical
in
man.
a Wonder Woman podcast.
You're like Okay, so then they went in and she got her weapons, which is cool. You saw the lasso being used on Chris Pine. Did you know what the lasso was and did?
I learned through the movie that it gets the truth out of you.
So
that was super cool.
Yeah, and you were thinking, Pablo. Do that if you had one.
Come here.
Wait.
What?
Nothing for the truth, right?
Of course.
Okay, so then also the sword and the shield, and it ended up the sword wasn't anything; it was just a sword. So that was cool to see. And
I thought they were gonna do something more when she discovers that power, like when she blocks it at the beginning of the war scene, and then the ant, like, she just
what?
The beginning
when she defended
training,
herself, when she hit the bracelets together and like did this whole.
I thought she was gonna use that at the end.
She did use it.
She used that electrical like.
Well, she used the bracelet to kind of like defend against him, but then at the end when she killed him,
sucked it off.
Well, she threw like a lightning bolt at him or what? Yeah, so
she did the Voldemort move where you like.
I was gonna say Yoda when he got Palpatine.
Yeah. And then ate it.
I don't remember that part.
That's the version I watched, the George Lucas third revision, extended edition. So yeah, super cool fight scenes, slow motion, which looked really cool. I didn't notice the green screen. I honestly didn't notice the effects. Like nothing bothered me about it, and usually like, oh, that looks a little jarring, but I didn't see any of that, and I didn't see it in 3D. That's usually where you can tell like those imperfections, but here I felt like the effects were spot on, especially like the bullet stuff, the whole shield, like just blocking her, like taking all the fire and letting all the guys kind of flank the other soldiers. So that was really cool.
That was a cool scene.
I like that. Yeah. I mean, there was a big, how did you feel about the non-action scenes? Because there was a big lull.
It did drag. I
didn't feel that it dragged. I liked what they did, but there was a lot of non-action. I was kind of worried about how other people would feel about that. But I felt like they were doing things that were interesting enough and developing the characters and the relationship that it was cool. So you felt like it dragged at certain points?
Like
a lot. It took a while to come back.
It did take a while for you to get to like the action scenes, and it took a while for you to get to the trenches when she's actually like all those cool scenes. I mean, it was kind of interesting to see those things, like the whole her going into that meeting and speaking and
getting the team together and all that stuff.
Team together, like all those things were necessary. Could they have maybe been shorter? Maybe
it's still a lot shorter than what Suicide Squad did.
Was it?
Dude, Suicide Squad spent the first 2 hours of the film explaining who everybody was.
That was the best part of the movie, though, for me, like of Suicide Squad, and I hated the second half. You're like, you made like a little noise, like of disbelief. On second viewing, anyway, the Suicide Squad. So bad. We'll come back to it. We should do one on that.
I felt DC, like the sucky movies of DC.
Oh, we don't have enough time. No.
I felt they were gonna do something with the secretary. Like I felt they were kind of developing her, but then they just didn't do anything with her. I thought she was gonna be the evil villain. I don't know, because they showed her
twist on her
carrying like the sword and the shield. And I don't know. I'm like, are they gonna do something with her?
She was there for a little bit of comedy.
She was just a comic
relief for as far as like the trailers. She was in there, and that was a funny moment. Like when they hit those moments. And it was still funny.
Slavery.
Yeah, she's like, that sounds like slavery. Like she's
when Danny says it to me, I'm just like,
sounds like slavery. It was great, and she's like, I like her. It was like those moments from the trailer, and it was cool. But it's kind of sad that Steve Trevor's no longer there. It was sad at the end where they see the wall of all the people they've lost, and he's there, and it was like, damn, I just want him to be like, hey, I'm here, like.
Come on, I didn't die.
I know, cliche. It's super cliche,
Jim,
but I wanted it.
The reason you love DC is because you like how dark it is and how more real it is because of how dark it is. Yeah. But you want a happy ending?
I do.
Come to Marvel with us, Jim. Everyone's happy over here.
I know. So I felt they couldn't do anything more with him. Also, he served his purpose. He was her introduction to the real world. He is... like he was good, like they could have met, like their first introduction could have been those Germans, and that would have been it. Like men are evil, that we got to go kill them or whatever, defend, and they would have never been out there. But he was her, like the key over here, and now she's there to protect everyone, you know, and which was super cool, I thought. But yeah, so I'm kind of sad that he's gone, but I know it's for the best, because now she's in her story now. I mean, they could. There's any time after World War I and where they're at now, there's stories to tell. But I think where they're going to go from it now is after that, like where they're at now. The present, where Superman's dead.
Like Captain America.
Yeah, where Superman's dead. Batman she's going to be in the Justice League. So all them together, she's a big part of that movie, right? Her and Bruce gathering Flash and Cyborg and Aquaman, putting that team together. So that'll be her next time we see her.
I hope so. I don't know. I want her to keep all the power. Like, I want her to be the one in charge of everything.
Yeah.
Because she's going to do it better than Bruce, who's crying all the time about everything, about how alone he is and whatever.
Waiting for Martha in this movie.
It's the secretary's name in the credits.
Martha, yeah, everybody's named Martha. Yeah.
Martha.
So that's where we're going. But you'd like to see, like you mentioned, setting up for the sequel. Do you really think that they would go back, maybe tell more of those stories in between? Like,
no, I don't think so.
That was the avenue to bring it to where it is now.
They're gonna do what they did with Captain America. Like, the first one was the
origin story, establishing
the tiny piece, and then now it's present day.
I love how different it was too. It was that war movie. It was a war movie, you know, which was super cool.
It wasn't that different. It was Captain America.
It was different.
In what way?
In many ways.
Like?
That she was into super soldier. I don't know. That's it pretty much. No, I think, I mean, there's a lot of similarities, but I think it's a different movie. Like, I enjoyed this movie more than I did Captain America. The first Avenger? Yeah. I remember watching that one, and it was like good, but I enjoyed obviously Captain America 2, Winter Soldier a lot more. Like, I love that movie. Speaking of a woman in that movie, it was him and Black Widow, Scarlett Johansson, and she was awesome. Like, they played really well. Like, she was a character in that movie, which is great. Which was something that was cool to see. She didn't have a
love interest.
She was just
doing everything. Hollywood, don't do it.
Don't do it. But I mean, it didn't bother me that her and Steve Trevor had a thing. It was cool, I thought. How'd you feel about that?
About the love interest? I mean, like I said, they spent time developing that, and just to kill him off, like, might as well just not develop that at all.
It was important.
No.
Without him, how would she get to the world?
I mean, through him, she showed, and like a lot of the scenes.
She wouldn't have left the island. Remember? Because of Ares. She heard that there was war. The war's going on. Right. Because he talked about, he's like, the war, like the one that everybody's a part of. All these nations.
The war to end all wars.
Yeah. World War I. So that was his role in there. And it was, I mean, he died at the end, and that was his purpose in this piece. So, but what? What? Am I being a guy?
Yes.
No, why?
He couldn't have gone to her final journey without him. Please.
She wouldn't have been able. He was the key to leave the island, really. She wouldn't have left. Her mom wouldn't have let her.
She could do whatever she wants.
But she wouldn't have, because like that was the whole thing. Know that. She's like, I need to save the world. This is what we're here for. We need to, because she knew what her purpose was. She had a bigger goal as well. All these stories that she was told and all this stuff, I mean, it was true, which is cool. Like, her mom could have just been lying to her, and that would have sucked. But there was an Ares, and she fought this guy. She proved everybody wrong, which is great. I liked it.
Yep, just every day as a female, you're telling guys what's up, and they're like, no. Then you have to prove them wrong. Is that not what happens to you every day?
No. Yeah, so Wonder Woman's great. I loved it. I loved Wonder Woman.
It was good. I love her. She just showed the perfect balance of like strength and then compassion. When you see her like caring about the world, but she's still this strong thing. I know, it was so funny.
She wanted to go carry.
She
said it like that. Cositas.
Cositas. She's like, nope, you can't do that. You can't do that. So,
just pick up a baby. Yeah. Yeah, I really like that. She's good.
I was sad that they only had her theme song one time in this film.
Oh yeah.
At the end.
One time.
Yeah. And the guitar solo. The guitar solo.
Is that like Mission Impossible? I don't think that was it.
The air guitar for.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah, sure it was. Yeah. It's close. It's close.
I tried that.
You tried. Yeah, it was good. So you were sad they only had it once in there?
Yeah, because when it first started playing in Batman v Superman.
Well, they overdid it in Batman vs Superman. I think.
No, I wanted it
more?
that many times. Like literally every time she said like one of her catchy phrases, like I wanted it to go because it's so good.
Yeah.
I love her
You
theme
like it?
song. It's so
Sing it.
good. I'm not gonna sing it on our podcast, but I enjoy it a lot, and I don't know, I love it. It makes me happy.
Yeah,
Like I want to go like I don't know, like kill a bunch of dudes. Like
I found it crazy that a lot of men were getting angry because there was like only women showings across the nation. I'm like,
Yeah.
really, guys? You guys need to chill.
we had a point. No, I'm just kidding.
I
no,
mean-
it's stupid. You're right. It was a big outrage. I mean, it's that vocal minority. I don't think it's a stupid internet trolls, man. Internet
Certain
trolls.
mayor got a letter from an angry constituent who was like, this
Oh,
is
really?
not
I didn't hear about that.
Yeah, and he made a statement, right? It was. Do you know about it?
I know you're staring at me like
Because you probably have all the correct details.
No, I don't know. I just know that there's several cities across the nation where men are just they're crying about it. But I mean, whatever. 52% of women are the ones who watch this movie. So
Mhm.
it
Oh,
was
really?
still
There's a stats on that. That's good.
It's 52 and 49.
How much has it made?
150 and the opening weekend, dude.
100
So
million, right?
projected the company like DC, like they thought they were aiming, they were hoping and praying it would get to 80
Mhm.
to 80 million. Opening weekend, obviously it's made more since then, but
Yeah.
opening weekend was 150.
Dang.
150.
That's awesome.
Just the opening weekend.
That's cool.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's a cool thing.
Go women!
I know.
Yeah, so yeah, DC.
We finally have our hero.
Yeah, and that's really a cool thing. I mean, you always do the comparisons again with Marvel. Marvel hasn't done a female-led movie, right? Like I know there was like
There were
talks about
of
Black Widow, right?
yes, but now what I'm hearing is like the two that they are planning are
The Miss Marvel is one, and
another one is coming. I forgot what it is, but it's like another. It's like one of those
like
hidden
obscure characters.
obscure
Yeah.
characters that people are gonna
Like,
search.
huh? What? Who?
Like, they're gonna search-
Squirrel Girl or something.
No, yeah,
Yeah, there's the Squirrel
yeah.
Girl.
No,
Yeah.
they'll probably search her after they release it the way people did with
Gar-
Doctor Strange
and Guardians
and
was
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Honestly, Guardians was my big one. I was like, who? Like, I think I had heard of Rocket Raccoon,
Yeah,
but I didn't know.
I knew of Guardians because my uncle loved Rocket Raccoon,
Okay.
and so I knew about it from him.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this is gonna be another one of those obscure characters where you're like, who is she?
Star Lord, man.
Star-Lord.
Squirrel Girl, man. Yeah, so yeah, there is a Squirrel Girl. So check out Squirrel Girl.
We should have that like a podcast where like we named characters to Claudia and she has to guess if they're real or
we
fake
just did that.
superheroes.
Like the Lego Batman. Lego Batman. Condiment King.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Calendar Man.
Calendar Man. Yeah, so that's really bold, and I'm glad they followed through with making this movie. It was great. Anything else? I know you got like a list there. Anything you want to add to the discussion that we missed?
No, I mean I think we talked about almost everything, but yeah, I mean I loved this movie and I'm glad that they did it. I'm glad that little girls are going to be able to watch it, and I don't know, I can't believe that I cried multiple times, but it's because it made me feel so emotional because we didn't grow up with that. Like we didn't have a female supervillain or a superhero on the big screen to look up to and say like, I want to be her. Like ours was like, oh, I want to be Ariel, who disobeys her dad and gets married at age 16. Like that was our hero. What the heck? But now we have her who like she's showing little girls that like women are capable and that they can take care of themselves and they can take care of other people and like just save the day, and that just is so exciting to me, like that prospect. And I hope that it continues and like we continue to have more female leads and female directors and female writers, and just we just continue making way in that.
It's gonna open a lot of doors, I think, in Hollywood for women, and just like I can see Marvel like, do you know what DC did with with their female superhero. Now we have to do it, and because now it's been done and you can see that it actually makes money, they're gonna want to do it. So I'm super excited. I'm with Melinda. Like, the whole for women, it's amazing. Just watching the whole thing was like,
and they could have botched it. Like, they really could have, like, not treated the character with respect and not treating the
if it was a
message of
dude
women
directing it,
yeah,
probably.
you know, it could have gone really bad. I mean, you just had Suicide Squad that had just missed the mark,
That
right?
was just bonkers, dude. That was awful.
And so that could have happened here, and I'm really glad it didn't. It was super strong. The critics were like, I didn't look at a lot of critical score. I did see the critic score. I did see like the percentage of Rotten Tomatoes. You know, it's like, okay.
What is it?
The last, well, I don't know. I know it was at 97, then it went to like 94, and I think it stayed there, which is really good.
So with this movie, I took a page from your book and I read nothing beforehand.
Yeah.
I didn't, and usually I'll read, you know, the Washington Post, you know, review or whatever. I didn't read anything at all. I went in completely blind, and except with my low expectations, that I had, and not with Wonder Woman as a character, with DC as
trusting them with this movie,
trusting DC with my superheroes, and I'm glad that I did, because I was able to, like, the opinions that I had in this movie were mine.
Own,
they weren't like preconceived by an article or whatever,
marketing or whatever it says.
But I'm so excited. I can't wait to watch it again. And I don't know, hopefully I can convince my brother to watch it, because he didn't want to watch it because girls can't be superheroes.
Really?
So,
is that his opinion on it?
yeah, so hopefully I can convince him to go. I'll take him on Friday and force him to watch it.
When she picked up that freaking tank, that was freaking awesome.
She was just chilling out, just
picked
holding
up the tank
it.
And threw it.
What do I do with it?
She
had a whole conversation with Dr. Poison, and she had it, and she was just carrying this big thing, and no big deal.
Yeah.
So good.
Super cool. Yeah, I did like that part. Now at the end, when Ares died, to clarify things, he was the influence of a lot of this hatred then. So that pretty much ended World War I with him being killed, because like at the end, those guys were like
they
hugging.
had that, and they had the Germans,
the
Nazis were,
they were Nazis, but the Germans,
they were Germans. They because they were confused. They kind of like woke up and were
like snapped out of it or something.
They looked confused. Yeah. Maybe just like
initial influence or something,
or maybe I don't know. It just like pushed like man's evil way or whatever, and this just kind of like made them normal. I don't know.
Yeah, and that's what I got. I was like, okay, so he was directly influencing these humans, like maybe whispering into them and like just saying the right things to influence ideas, which is ultimately what happens, right? So I thought that was interesting.
There's this, we didn't mention really his team, but there's this one part where that Scottish man, he didn't take that shot. And she was the one that came and she saved the day with the shield. And then, so she was able to, hurt the thing. But I like that because it showed like the realities of war and like how not everybody was 100% brave 100% of the time. Like they're dealing with people, they're real humans like in war, and like you don't know how you're gonna react until you're actually there. So I kind of like that they kind of showed that, like his not a weakness, like it just showed that
PTSD,
he was,
right? Like that's what he went through.
Like he couldn't take the shot, and that's what he was known for. That was supposed to be what he was good at.
Sniper.
And stuff. And then she came and saved the day, and it was awesome.
That was cool. Yeah. So that's Wonder Woman. Anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
Excited for the second part. When is it going to be?
Well, what's the plan? I know Justice League, is it this year, like in August or something, or when is it?
I think so. It's
man, I hope Justice League is good. So with Joss Whedon, right, taking over?
Yeah, what's left
of it?
Him being a producer también.
He'll be supporting as far as, that's a lot of power too. I mean, probably a lot of reshoots, tightening up the movie, maybe giving it some heart. I mean, hopefully, I really like Zack Snyder from his previous works, but it was lacking. I like Man of Steel. I did. And then Batman vs Superman, I like the tone of Man of Steel, but Batman vs Superman had its problems, but I enjoyed the movie as an action movie and comic book movie. But
did you read comic books?
I did, dude.
The same book.
You had except Batman killing people. That messed me up. But him the Kryptonite bullets and the bomb just exploding and weakening Superman, and him just like manhandling him and like physically impossible things like
there were
tying him up
so
and throwing
many
him.
dumb
It was cool.
shots, even in like and I've talked to you about it numerous times. The Man of Steel, I hated that he killed Zod.
Oh yeah, that part.
I could not stand, like, his whole thing is Superman doesn't kill, like, he's like in his core he's a good guy, and then he killed him. I'm like, you're like everybody else, like, why are you, what makes you different then, like, why did you, they didn't have to kill him.
What would he do with them?
Imprison him
In the Phantom Zone. I mean,
yeah, that happened.
They could have, and I know
that actually did happen though.
What was the bad thing about it?
Your thing was like, oh, there's a family, blah blah blah.
No, there was. Well, I mean, that the family would have died if Superman did nothing. The other thing that people had a problem with was all the destruction and people living in the city and people dying. Like, they could have tried to fight somewhere else, which they kind of tried to fix in Batman vs Superman. Like, oh, luckily this whole side of the city's at home on the weekend or whatever it was, So it's one of those things. But I did like the movie as far as the fighting and destruction.
I was expecting Wonder Woman to be like that, like Man of Steel, just like like it's a superhero, like origin movie, whatever. But I'm glad that it proved me that DC proved me wrong.
There's hope in the world for women.
That's why that, like, I am a hardcore feminist. Like, anytime Danny or Mark or Jim say something, I'm gonna bring it up and I'm gonna correct them because it upsets me to no end when they say, like, it bothers me. And so to see that now, like, hopefully this sparks, more equality in the future. Fingers crossed that that's what it does.
It definitely shows that women can actually bring in the big bucks to Hollywood.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's
I feel like
thing.
for years they used like Catwoman and Elektra, which were, awful movies. They use that as an excuse. Like, women, female, superheroes can't do well. Like, look at Elektra, look at Catwoman, the Halle Berry one. Like, those are so bad.
Yeah,
terrible. And I feel like
movies,
they use that as an
scripts.
excuse.
Yeah.
Maybe the show's times are changing and we're ready for more diversity in Hollywood, but variety. We want to see more Hollywood.
Well, not only more, quality is what you want. Like, quality
and more
director. Well, no, because you can have more Catwomans and they're going to be terrible movies.
Yeah, so they need to be good.
A good writer.
With respect.
With respect to the characters, just like you would with a Captain America or with a Thor or whatever. Iron Man, especially.
Because even Thor was like.
So yeah, just having respect for the characters and for the source material, which is my thing. It's like, just do that justice. Like, it's the first time we're seeing cartoons and comics come to life, which is great, which is what it's all about, I guess. But I really, really enjoyed it. What would you rate this movie, Claudia?
I gave it 8.5 jelly beans.
Jelly beans. Is that our new thing?
Jelly donuts.
Okay. What problems did you have with it?
Pretty much I loved it.
I didn't like the women leading.
No, they spoke too much in this film.
Let me look at my notes, but it was 8.5 because, again, it dragged a little bit. Like, there's
in the
things
middle,
that they could have just chopped or added more action or just more of that, and because they killed Chris Pine.
So that was a good thing? You're like, that's why you got an 8.
No,
I gave it the 0.5 because of that.
They developed him and then they killed him off. It would have been a 9 had it not been for those two things. But it was really good.
Okay. Melinda? Or do you want me to go?
Yes.
You want me to go? Okay, so I give it a 9.5, a jelly donuts out of 10. So I really like this movie. Not much, although the slow motion was a little overdone for me. And that's where I was like, oh, okay, like, I like it. It's visually cool, but they did it too many times, I think. It was like like Zack Snyder, maybe emulating that style of what he established in the other. Maybe it was just like, we got to do it because of continuity with the other films. But it was super cool, though, when you did see her block the bullets and move through and they slow down and do this fight. But it just, like, at a certain point, they had done it, I think, a little too much when it didn't need to be there. But super minor nitpicks. But as far as story, as far as character development, everything was, like, top notch. I loved it. The acting was great. She was funny when she needed to be. Action was there. She commanded this respect. I mean, didn't even command it. She just had it. Like the characters reacted to her as like, oh no, she's badass. She's awesome. You know, so like stay out of her. She can take care of herself. We don't need to worry about her. Let's go take care of our own thing. You know, they didn't even help her with Ares because they knew she had it. You know, it was her fight.
Yeah,
So
I guess
super cool.
a 9.
You'd move it up to 9.
8.5 is kind of mean. 9.
No, it's just whatever you feel.
9.5.
But I thought it was a great movie. I can't wait. I saw it in 2D. I want to watch it in 3D for fun. My second viewing, but I enjoyed the film a lot.
Let's do drum roll for Melinda.
I disagree with you completely with the
Slow-mo?
slow-mo. I even put I put
plus.
every slow-mo shot of them fighting was incredible in all caps.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted more.
More
The whole
slow-mo.
movie in slow-mo.
Just slow it down. Point
Just
five. Yeah.
because you saw them. Oh, it's good.
It was beautiful. It was
Like,
a
and
beautiful
this
movie.
is, I keep mentioning it throughout the podcast. Just the choreography of
Yeah.
their fighting was just amazing to me, and seeing it in slow mo, I think, just added to it, and I loved it. And just seeing them fight, like just how incredible they were, and you because you don't see women like in horses like
that was cool.
fighting like
in the beginning. Yeah.
man, just everything was just so incredible to me. And when I wrote my notes right after, as I was, I wanted to see if there was going to be like a end credit scene. I started writing on my notes, and initially my first thing was a 10 out of 10, which I don't think I've ever done in this podcast, but it was a 10 out of 10. And after I thought about it, on the weekend, and I thought about like all the different aspects, and I kind of like dissected a little more, I went down to 9.5, which is still, I think, the highest that I've given a film
that's mine too,
in this podcast. But yeah, initially I gave it 10 out of 10.
Yeah, I think initially mine would have been a 10 out of 10 as well. But thinking about it, kind of dissecting, like, you're right. Yeah. Super good movie.
What the heck? Why am I the lowest?
I don't know. That's
why?
You've given 10s to I don't know what.
I have never given a 10.
Yes, you did, to Doctor Strange.
I gave it a 10.
Yes. And I remember because I'm like, what?
Because of Eggs Benedict, Cabbage Patch.
No, and
I think that's the only 10 you've given to Doctor Strange.
I didn't want to go that high because I'm like, no, these jerks are not gonna go that
Jim's
high.
gonna give it a 5.
They never give it
He
10.
hates women.
I do it.
I know.
My average here is like 7 or 8. Like
yeah,
I've
you're
never,
a tough critic.
I've never given, and I don't even think I've given an. I think maybe Rogue One I gave a 9.
Yeah. You give even Rogue One, it was a 9.
It
wasn't even a
9.
10 or 9.5.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, it was my like 9.5. I don't know what I'd easily, probably my second viewing, I'll probably give it a 10. But again, initially it was a
me
10.
too.
Yeah.
So
but
on average, we gave her like a 9.4.
well,
we
two
gave
9.5s. Let's do the math. I don't know. Nah, we're fine.
Not a podcast.
Don't
For
embarrass
the
ourselves.
record, I don't hate women, and I thought, do you? No, I mean, I
Jim
feel,
off his face.
I feel no. I mean, like there was nothing. I'm glad this movie was made. I love the character. There's a great DC animated movie, and I'll send it your way. It's an awesome Wonder Woman story. You'll see similarities because it's an origin story, but super cool. Like DC does great stuff with their animated stuff. Like that's the thing. It's
The
like
Justice League one.
yeah, like you get a cool thing. So it's
Thank
awesome.
you, women. Thank you, women. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Jim, for admitting that about women.
What?
We appreciate
No,
it.
and like I fully support women, and I see us all equal, and we're just it's just super. It goes to a different. I always get there, but we're just in different bodies. That's it. Mind is what? What am I talking about? What was in here?
I don't know, Jim.
I think it went bad. It was kale, I think. Now, so that's it. Really enjoyed it. Can't wait for Justice League to see her again. And super cool. Yeah. So anything else you want to add before we finally wrap up?
Nope.
You good? Well, thank you for joining us. Enjoyed Wonder Woman. Check it out. Watch it again. Support. It was a great movie. My name's Jim.
Claudia.
Melinda.
And have a good night. Bye.
Or day. Or morning. You want to do the sword and shield?
No,
Okay,
I'm
let's
not
do
gonna
it.
kill
Let's
him.
do the...
Oh, you have the sword.
Actually,
What is that? What is that? Like this. Like this. I have the little thingies. Ready?
are you ready?
I think so. Let me
mirror?
just, sure. Lipstick.
Want some lipstick? Gaio check?
I don't care.
Hmm.
I was like, are you chick?
You want to mirror?
I was like, ooh. Whatever. Do I look like a super hobo when I come to work?
Oh, we just press real
Not
chill.
super.
Not super.
Like normal, I would
A
say.
normal
Normal
hobo.
Yeah, yeah.